And I'm going to try, and I know that in about 30 seconds I'm going to deeply regret doing this, but I'm going to try and bring in Aaron Ra Ha Ha Ha, who is also known as Andy Taxi Driver, who seems to have an utter inability to mute Blog TV and sort his microphone out. But I do want to address the point that he has been making in the chat, which is theism equals hope and atheism, there is no hope. Oh, here we go. Can you mute Blog TV, please, Andy?
Broadsword to Danny boy, broadsword to Danny boy. Do you hear me, Danny boy?
I can't hold it. She's breaking up. She's breaking up.
Spit out what you have to say,
London
Andy.
calling, London calling. You're listening to the BBC.
Just say what you've got to say, Andy, and if the audio doesn't get any better, then I'll just repeat it. What's your point?
He doesn't have a point.
No, I want him to justify atheism equals hopelessness and theism equals hope. What hope does theism give you, Andy? Oh, for fuck's sake.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I think something's coming through on the zeta frequency. Exterminate, exterminate.
We'll give you 30 seconds, Andy, and then we're getting rid of you. Sort it out until you're gone.
He does sound like, what was it, Stavros?
Stavros. Yeah, we'll bring D. Landon Cole on instead. Shove it, Andy. I'm sorry. I don't know how many times you have to be told what to do. I don't know what you're doing wrong. But honestly, it's a joke. We'll bring D. Landon Cole on. I know that the reason I wanted to bring in Andy was to deal with that point, but London's got something that he wants to raise, and I know it's not quite on topic, but I'm more than happy to have him on the show. Thunder, you wanted to raise something?
Yeah, I mean, we're notorious for, how shall I say, technical difficulties. But come on, I mean, even we managed to eclipse that. What the hell was wrong with his audio? I couldn't screw it up that badly if I tried.
That's like an AM radio station. It's horrible.
I don't know. But
so
whilst Landon's joining the call, just, I mean, as I say, I wanted to bring him in because he's been typing that in the chat for a while now. I mean, what's your knee-jerk reaction to or response to that argument? Atheism just means no hope, and theism is hope. I wanted to tell him what hope he has from theism, but how would you respond to that?
You're full of shit. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, you can make any assertion that you want, but the assertion that theism is hope and atheism is desperation or something is just one that is completely unfounded.
No, and I disagree, Thunder. I think it's true that, quote, oh God, I gotta stop saying that. It's true that atheism doesn't have hope, that there's nothing inherent in not believing in a God that gives you hope for the future. It's all the other things that go into it. It's all the awareness of the reality, the fact that this is our one life and we get to live it as fully as possible. The impact we have on the people around us ripples on for generations to come. May not last forever, because humanity may not last forever, but it certainly is not gone the moment we go into the ground. So that's a false belief. It's true that atheism does not carry a message about what is to come, but it's certainly not true that it is devoid of all spirituality and belief.
But it does carry a
Couldn't
message.
agree with you more. Concordance. Absolutely spot on.
Atheism does carry a message of what apparently ain't coming.
Unfortunately, D. Landon can't join us, but there's someone else.
DPR, I'm getting a message on the zeta frequency, and it says, whilst atheism might not bring you hope, at least it brings you decent audio quality.
D. Landon can't join us. He's had to go, so he'll call back on a future show. And to be fair, his topic was his question was not really related to the topic we've been discussing. This one maybe, I don't know. It's a bit of a random guess because contrary to, how many times do I have to say it? Please include the topic or question that you want to ask, the gist of it, anything, but they don't. But here we go. So we're flying by the seat of our pants by welcoming Brandon to the show. Hello, sir.
Hello guys. Big fan. First time. I've never done this, so.
That's okay. We can hear you perfectly well.
Okay, and are you getting any interference from Blog TV on here?
No, not at all.
Okay, awesome. Just wanted to make sure.
All right. So what's going on?
I was just wanted to point out that I don't think that even if atheism has no inherent message of hope or meaning in it, it doesn't necessarily follow that theism is true.
Well, of course it doesn't, and this I can equate this to Pascal's wager, which is obviously a complete nonsense. I mean, one of the things this is what I wanted to find out, what this hope was, because if he says that hope is a life in heaven with God, well, what if he's got the wrong God? He's in big trouble. He's going to burn for eternity. What sort of hope is there? I just genuinely do not understand the argument. As I say, that's why I wanted to get him into the call to explain what he meant. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, and even it's just a bad argument, anyways, because hoping for something doesn't make it true. You actually have to provide some sort of evidence for it. I mean, you can.
How much do you think that wishful thinking is part of people's sort of like enjoyment of religion? That they think that there is someone up there that's looking after them, that there is a promise of something better in the future. Do you think that has an effect on people's psyche when it comes to belief?
Probably a bit. That and probably false agency detection are probably the biggest things. People, I think they feel like there has to be someone telling them what the meaning is life for them to feel like there's meaning.
What I find odd is the idea of an eternity in heaven means that I'm going to spend my eternity with Jesus Freak, with Venom Fang X, with Pat Robertson, in a daily routine of worshipping God.
Praising God.
How is that? That to me is hell. I don't see it that is a good thing.
Yeah, I would much rather be in the same room as Carl Sagan and Christopher Hitchens and people of that sort. People.
How do they say you go to heaven for the climate and hell for the company?
Exactly.
Yes, but there's an interesting question. Say our previous caller went to heaven, someone that suffers from sunlight. Would that be cured automatically in heaven? Or would she have a special corner of heaven that didn't have sunlight? I mean, what is heaven? People's idea of heaven is very, very subjective.
So there's this, if all of the children, that last video that you made where Craig is justifying the slaughter of all these infants. Well, okay, God brings all these infants up to spend eternity with him. Are they now going to spend, imagine it's a 1-year-old baby that gets killed. Is that 1-year-old baby going to stay a 1-year-old baby for eternity?
I can answer this.
Please.
I have been told by a theist that you can determine your age in heaven. And the way I put it was, for example, if you die infirm and 90-year-old can't move, incontinent, whatever, is that how you're going to be in heaven forever? Oh no, they say you're sort of like reborn. But they actually said no, you get to choose your age, which is really spooky because I could get to be older than my mother. That would be a bit odd, wouldn't it? Because she may have chosen a different age. I mean, this is all bollocks, of course, because it's not in the Bible. It's just complete invention. But it's so subjective. It's a great thread to use when you're talking to a theist. Ask him what heaven is like, and you'll never get two consistent answers.
I've also been told that not only do you get to choose your age and all like that, but all your ailments will be cured and you will be beautiful, right? Well, beauty is subjective too, right? So how beautiful are you going to be, and how would you determine your own beauty? I mean, we just saw Avengers yesterday just so that my wife could see Thor again. Is that what I have to look like when I go to heaven, just to compete with everybody else? Do I have to look like that guy? Or hey, here's an idea. If I can choose all these things for myself, can I do like what Concordance did? I want to be a dinosaur.
I read this week, Aaron, that there was someone that was proposing that there was a global warming event as a result of dinosaurs because, as we know, that cows are somewhat responsible by passing wind, and they calculated that the dinosaurs' output was something like 5,000 times that cows are producing at the moment. So maybe it's good that they went extinct.
I'm suddenly struck by this. You say if you are old, you can choose to be young in heaven. But if you were only ever 1 year old when you die, then how would you actually choose?
I can answer that as well.
Please do.
Apparently, if you're a 1 year old child, your parents are still terrestrial, you're in heaven, you are brought up by adoptive parents up to an age at which you can say, okay, I'm old enough now, I want to stay here. Don't ask me to justify it, Thunder. I'm just telling you, I have genuinely heard people explain to me.
From Christian scholars like William Lane Craig, who deserve exactly the same amount of respect that anyone else who has, say, studied for a degree in voodoo or horoscopes should.
I think your problem is, Thunder, that you are lacking, you have a privation of order in your creaturely will. I think that's.
That's such a great quote. I've got to start bringing that up whenever anyone. As a Christian, would you describe good as a privation in the creaturely will?
Aaron wanted to comment. Aaron.
No, I didn't have a comment to that.
All right. I'm going to wrap it up because it's now we've overrun by half an hour, and I know everyone will rush off and watch the Atheist Experience show, even though we're much better. There are a quick number of comments and thank yous I have to make. Firstly, thank yous to Cream, who made the banner. And I didn't want to tell you this before, but if you go to the banner in the bottom right-hand corner, you will actually get a link to his blog TV channel. And the reason I didn't want to mention it is if you clicked on it, you would have left our show and gone to his. But thank you very much, Cream. I know the Skype link didn't work, but I'm sure we'll have that sorted for the next show. Thank you very much to Tony, who does the technical stuff, and also because of comments that we received, we are attempting to ensure that when these are posted on YouTube, the audio quality is going to be better, so hopefully you will notice a difference in that. Thank you to everyone that's phoned in. Thank you to zomgitscriss for appearing and also agreeing to appear on our next show in 2 weeks' time. Thank you to Potholer, who will be on the show sometime after the 6th of June. Thank you to everyone that's on the panel, and to preempt the inevitable video that the Cartesian theist will make, probably within the next 30 minutes, no, we did not receive a contact request through Skype from Cartesian theist. So don't try and say that you did. Okay, on that note, final words, anyone, before I wrap it up?
Like truth matters to these people.
Concordance. Oh, sorry, Yaron, you had more to say.
No, I was just thinking about, when Eric Hovind did that thing where, I haven't seen it yet, but supposedly he took the interview and spliced it up for me. I mean, it's like he's following in his father's fraudulence.
Flatulence or fraudulence?
What's the difference?
Concordance.
My next video is probably going to be on race, so keep an eye out for that. But I've been really busy, so might be a little while, just now starting. That's all.
Okay, just tell me a spoiler right now. Which one's the best one?
Whichever one you're in, Aaron. By default.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think here what race that could be. The Vikings that migrated to Texas. Texan Viking.
Yeah.
Best race of all. Okay. What is it? Next week is Dra Muhammad Day. Weekend after that, I'm going to be at the Atheist Convention the European Atheist Convention in Cologne. And then after
congratulations on that.
You didn't invite me. I didn't know anything about it.
Well, I'm just turning up. I mean, you can just turn up, DPR.
I might well do. We'll talk about that after the show.
Okay. And then about the week after that is the Transit of Venus. Which you will be able to see from almost the whole planet. But to see the whole thing, you basically need to be on the Pacific side. And since there's not much landmass in the Pacific, your choices are basically the places with the best chance of seeing the whole thing are Hawaii, and just south of Darwin in Australia.
Yeah, and
Oh.
I forgot to mention that a week from now I will be in Irvine, California, doing the Orange County Free Thought Alliance conference.
Woohoo! And in 2 weeks' time, I will be back with you here from my little cubbyhole somewhere in the United Kingdom. On that bombshell, thank you very much. Take care. We will see you in 2 weeks' time with zomgitscriss.
Right.
Thank you for
Good night.
watching.